Alright, I've opened it. And... oh. Whoops. I did not realize this was an NPC. Okay. Hey, who the heck are you? I'm Captain Blacktooth, but since I'm not the guy who's apparently hiding out in Mrs. Gunn's attic, I feel you ought to be the one answering that question. Who am I? Well, that's just friggin' typical. I'm Chet Bullock, damn it. Am I supposed to have heard that name before? Yes, you damn well should have. Mrs. Gunn's invention would have been nothing without mine. Wait, let me guess. You invented the bullet? I thought surely you were going to say belt buckle again. Oh shoot, now I want to change my guess. You're damn right I invented the bullet, but I was her assistant, so did I get any credit? Hell no. Okay, well maybe I feel like talking to you later. Because I want to explore all the shit around here first. Alright, that was worth doing. Oh, holy cow, there's some really big bells hanging above you. This house is the biggest bells of them all. I'll grab the science stuff. And even more boxes and furniture. I will leave the bells alone. But I guess I will, let's see. If you don't want to take credit for whatever your genius plan is, I'm fine to let you languish in obscurity. Well, it's too late for you to stop me anyway, so I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. What a typical villain. Certainly not as much as not telling me would. When Mrs. Gunn dies, control of the company and patents passes to me. I'm no murderer, mind you. I like to keep my hands clean. But I figured there might be some other people who'd have a bone to pick with her, considering their manner of death. You summoned all these ghosts? That's right. All it took was some basic seance equipment, wired up to the house's belfry for amplification, a snap for a mechanical genius like me. But seance gear summons ghosts related to the summoner. That's the whole point of a medium. A person who knows how to direct the summoning on behalf of someone else's behalf. That was a great sentence. So you get to talk to your own grandma instead of the summoners. You don't seem like the medium type to me. More like a small, but that does explain something I've been wondering about. It didn't make any sense for all of the ghosts here to be haunting Mr. Gunn. Some of them weren't killed by guns, but they were all killed by bullets. Naturally, I anticipated that there'd be a couple of those. That's why I rigged this room with an anti-ghost field, which I cleverly boosted so the ghosts couldn't even sense me up here. So your plan was to summon a bunch of angry ghosts, who would initially be looking for you, but would haunt Mrs. Gunn instead when they couldn't find you? Correct. And once they've haunted her to death, Gunn Industries will be all mine. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Mrs. Gunn is dead. On the bright side, she's been dead for a year, so you pretty much wasted your time. What? Really? Ha ha ha. I'm rich. Now I just need to get out of here without all this ghost spawning me. I also got an achievement. Discovered the true secret of Gunn Manor. Yeah, the ghosts are gone too, so you're pretty much in the clear. Wonderful. The anti-ghost field is pretty effective, but it was starting to make the back part of my brain itch. He flips a switch on an electrical device, and you suddenly become aware of the absence of an extremely low frequency hum right on the edge of your hearing. There's something else I want to ask you about. What happened to Mrs. Gunn's family? Oh, them. They've been out of the picture for years. I heard a rumor Dan got killed by desperados and buried in a shallow grave out in the backside of nowhere. But of course I wouldn't actually know anything about that. Lucky for me, since I couldn't have inherited the company with him around, or their daughters. You son of a... Relax, the girls are fine, I'm not a monster. I'm pretty sure you're a monster. There's a weird little island kingdom somewhere on the other side of the ocean. Apparently it's stuck in some kind of bizarre temporal field that keeps nearly anyone from entering or leaving. You can't even find the place if you don't know how. Fortunately, I know a guy who knows how, so I gave the girls 3 free tickets to Sleepaway Camp. Wasn't that nice of me? You're an absolute bastard. Aw, that hurts my feelings. Fortunately, I'm about to have a whole lot of money to console myself with. Why, you... Hold on. We should talk to Mrs. Gunn first before you tear this ass a new hole. Huh? I thought I said she was dead. Depending on what she says, you might be too. Okay, we're gonna ring the bells. Never mind. Well, that's nice. Yeah, it's a pretty good bell. Nice clear tones. So that rang the note C 3 times. Alright. This mystery just got mysterious. Let's pop into Mrs. Gunn's room, I guess. Follow up, talk to her. Yeah, I have some good news and bad news. Chet Bullock had your husband killed and your daughter's kidnapped, so he'd be the sole inheritor of your company when you died. He's also the reason all the ghosts were here. That son of a... I should have suspected something when he suddenly started being so ingratiating back then, and when he wrote off desperados on his expense account. I'd write him out of my will, but I suppose it's too late. That's rather galling. What's the good news? He says your daughters are safe. They're just on a magical island that nobody can get to? It's not exactly comforting, but at this point I'll take it. Plainly, if he wanted to kill them, he'd have just done so. Wait, you spoke to him personally? Yeah, he didn't know you were already dead, so he's been hiding in your attic for the last couple of days, waiting for the ghost to kill you. What do you want me to do with him? I'll leave it up to you. I'm not in a state to make any reasoned judgment. In any case, you've answered my question, and I can feel myself moving on already. Thank you for all your help. With a sad wave, Mrs. Gunn fades from view. Then, almost as an afterthought, the lock in her desk drawer pops open. Inside, you find a check written out to Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services, which Flo snags with a cha-ching and a blueprint. Mrs. Gunn's blueprint. This blueprint represents what would have been the crowning achievement of Mrs. Gunn's career if she hadn't died before actually getting it into production. Alrighty. Well, I guess I got basically a super weapon that I have to build. And I found something for her, give her some science junk. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's talk to her again. Current location, you knew she was a ghost all along? Yeah, it was totally obvious. You must be more in tune with all this narrative stuff than I am. Yeah, you get used to it. Alright. Let's go up to the attic and talk to Chet again. Let's see. I can tell him to leave. I'm not entirely sure what to do at this point. Can I go down to the... I forget, is there like a gunsmith or something like that in the overworld? There was a silversmith, but I'm not entirely sure if there was like a gun thing as well. Because I don't know what to do with this blueprint. Let's go to the first floor. And let's go to the cellar. And this is the gun thing, right? Yeah, okay. I can make Mrs. Gunn's magnum opus. It's a bench covered, yep, okay. I get the best gun Mrs. Gunn never got the chance to make. You vow to commit so much violence in her name. Alright. Let's see how this compares to my current gun. It's much, much better. I wonder... I wonder if I can make another silenter. Let's see. Okay, I have another silenter, so I think that I can use that to silence Mrs. Gunn's opus here. So I will silent the Mrs. Gunn's opus. And now it's silented. Can I make the worst gun silent as well? Okay. We're gonna put a silencer on the worst gun. I want to get into some combat real quick with the worst gun to see what it's like. And then I want to also use the magnum opus. Alright, here we go. Oh, goody. I forgot that fighting the spiders leads to, horrible, horrible spiderness. Ugh. Oh, God, Gary. I'm so sorry that this always happens to you. Alright, I will hit them with the silented pistol, which still manages to do 104 damage base because of how endgame leveled I am. That's pretty cool. I guess I will then, for comparison's sake, also go ahead and use the magnum opus gun to see what it's like. Alright, I'm in a bit of a dire strait here, so I'm going to attempt to shoot Nanny, and hopefully... My god, it sounds like a James Bond pistol. It literally sounds like GoldenEye. That's fantastic. Alright, can I shoot Nanny again? No, of course I can't. Okay, I should be able to just kill these things, just with my regular shots. But yeah, that sounds exactly like the PP7 from GoldenEye, which is a very, very, very unfortunate name for a gun. Lord knows, I would definitely not want to be known for shooting people with my PP. Or maybe I would. Maybe I would. Alright, who's ready for Gary to get killed immediately? There it is! Okay, here we go. Shoot Nanny. 113 to 118 damage. The silented pistol really doesn't do a whole lot different than the magnum opus gun. I guess, jeez, it's so stupid sounding. Yeah, I guess that the damage that I do with my gun is just wildly overshadowed with the damage that I do from, like, my moxie and my other, my temporary buffs and stuff like that. So, yeah. Let's pop on up to, let's pop on up to the 3rd floor, and we'll go to this guy. So I can fight him, or I can tell him to leave, but I don't really want to tell him to leave, because then I think that means the DLC is over, but I'm not really sure if I've done everything yet. I don't know. I'm sick of your face. Go on, get out of here. Gladly. Thanks for your help with the ghosts. Come by the factory sometime. Maybe I'll hook you up with a discount. He grins smugly and starts to leave. Stop him. Hold it right there. I changed my mind. I'm not done with you yet. Look here, Misty. I'll be running you out of jail if you don't stay put. Okay. So... yeah, I don't know what to do with the bells. I can do C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, but an octave higher. Oh. Wait. No way. Yay. As the eerie sound of the bells fades away, ethereal outlines begin to appear around you and resolve, one at a time, into familiar spirits. Monsieur Lade, and then the lady who was running the boo and breakfast, and the librarian. You know, you really didn't get very many of their names. Maybe she'd be better about introducing yourself to people. Anyway, you're soon surrounded by a small crowd of ghosts, with Mrs. Gunn being the last to arrive. Excuse me. This is the bell tower in my house. Captain, what's happened? Yeah, nice to see you again, but what's up, counselor? I suppose you're all wondering why I've summoned you here today. I did just ask you that, yes. Well, I've come into some information that I think you might all be interested in. This won't take long, Millet. I need to get back to the afterlife. They've got an all-you-can-eat buffet with every kind of meat in nugget form. You unholster your pistol and slowly put it against your temple. Can't get that way, get there that way, you dummy. Rats, you put the gun away again. Anyway, let me explain. Felicity, how did you feel when you got here? Originally, I mean. Well, I remember being very angry. I wanted revenge for my death, but the feeling went away pretty quickly and I couldn't remember why it felt like that. I'm not the vengeful type. It doesn't even really make sense in your case. Yes, exactly. I never bore any ill will towards the prosecutor that shot me. Was it basically the same for the rest of you? Just like that, yes. Myself as well. Me too. Thought so. Well, here's the deal. You were all summoned for the explicit purpose of taking revenge on Mrs. Gunn here. Attendez! I was not killed by le gars. Le gun. Le gars. Le gars. That's the one. Le gars. There we go. I wasn't either. Yeah, some of you weren't. The summoning happened based on your connection to the summoner himself, Chet Bullock, the inventor of the bullet. But he was hiding with anti-ghost technology and assumed that enough of your deaths would be gun-related that you'd turn your attention to Mrs. Gunn instead. Well, that's just dirty pool. And I should know, considering I got shot for playing dirty pool. Considering I got shot for playing dirty pool. The thing is, he didn't know that Mrs. Gunn was already a ghost. So with nobody to take revenge on, you all just reverted to your regular state of mind. Huh. Well, I appreciate the info, but was it really necessary to call us all back just to tell us that? What I really wanted to tell you is that Chet Bullock has turned off his anti-ghost field. He's over there, at the other end of the attic. Now, I'm not going to make any noise about how he's ultimately responsible for all your deaths, because that would both be crazy and belittle the actual circumstances of your death. But Chet Bullock murdered Mrs. Gunn's husband, kidnapped her daughters, and attempted to use you all to kill Mrs. Gunn herself. So if y'all are interested in a little frontier justice, 13 is a pretty good number for a posse. The ghosts all turn to look at each other, and their eyes begin to glow red. The hunter is the first to leave the circle, closely followed by the poacher. Soon they've all left except for Felicity Wainwright and Mrs. Gunn. Mrs. Gunn looks hesitant for a moment, then seems to make up her mind. She gives you a stern nod, then follows the others. You turn away, and soon hear a man screaming, but the sound quickly decreases in volume as though he were being pulled a great distance away, and then it's gone entirely. I figured you wouldn't be into it, Felicity. Yeah, despite everything, I still believe in the rule of law. Didn't see you trying to stop them, though. Nope. No, you certainly didn't. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Happy trails, counselor. You too, counselor. She fades away with a wink. All's well that ends well. Well, that's it. You reckon that your careful recon of the situation has brought some true reckoning to Gunn Manor. Congratulations on getting the best ending. Feel free to wander around the grounds and enjoy the scenery. Maybe wrap up some loose ends? But otherwise, you're pretty much done here. Thanks for playing the reckoning at Gunn Manor. Alrighty. That's the DLC. I guess that's it. There's just a weird black scorch mark on the floor where Chet was standing. Talk to Florence. Wow, I've never seen ghosts do that to anyone. I ain't never real sure what they did. Maybe I should start trying this diplomacy thing, eh? Or maybe I should shoot them even faster. Nah, I'm just joking. You've done a real good job here. It's been an eye-opener. Yeah, it is over. It's sad. It's always sad when you beat a good video game, in my opinion. Like, I remember the first time I beat Super Mario 64. Like, that was the first time I'd ever beaten a video game, and then kind of felt sad afterwards, because I was like, oh shit, my journey is over. Like, it's done. And then I felt the same way when I played Odyssey, and now I feel the same way about this. Like, it's done. The DLC's over. It was a good one, though. It was a good time that was had by all.